I've been a doctor for over 30 years. From major hospitals in Denver to small community clinics in the Colorado mountains, I've seen thousands of patients in their 50s, 60s, even well into their 70s and 80s. And if there's one thing I've learned from all those encounters, it's this: leg cramps. Leg cramps aren't just about sore muscles. They steal your sleep. They rob your peace at night. And slowly, they chip away at your confidence with every step you take during the day. I remember one of my patients, Susan, 68 years old, a retired art teacher. She told me, "I used to love walking in my backyard every evening until cramps started waking me up at 3 a.m. every night." Have you ever felt something like that? Now here's the part that truly surprised me, something that actually changed the way I treat my patients today. Sometimes it's not a pill, but a banana, an egg, or a small handful of nuts. That makes all the difference. Don't get me wrong, medicine has its place, but I believe, because I've seen it over and over again, that food can be the first medicine and sometimes the most powerful one. And today I want to share with you 5 natural foods I've personally seen work wonders for my patients over and over again. They don't just help people sleep better or have fewer cramps, they help them wake up feeling stronger, lighter, sometimes even a few years younger. So if you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, and you're looking for a way to live healthier, naturally, gently, and without relying on pills, then this video is for you. 1. Dark leafy greens, nature's gentle muscle relaxant. Now you might be surprised when I say this, but dark leafy greens, something as simple as a bunch of spinach or a handful of kale, are one of the most powerful remedies I recommend to my patients who suffer from leg cramps. Let me paint you a picture. A 62-year-old man, retired for 6 months, decides to spend each morning walking with his wife. A sweet idea, right? But after just a week, he comes back to my office frustrated. "Doc, I tried, but after just 20 minutes, my legs feel like they're locked up, tight, painful, like I can't even lift them anymore." We ran some basic tests, nothing serious, so I asked him a simple question. "How many servings of vegetables did you eat this past week?" He laughed a little sheepishly. Uh, I think I had potatoes?" And that, my friend, is a story I hear all the time. A lot of folks think they're eating vegetables, when really they're missing the right kinds, especially the ones packed with critical minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. These are the tiny building blocks your muscles and nerves need to function smoothly and to avoid those awful nighttime cramps that sneak in like thieves. Here's what many people don't realize. Leg cramps aren't always caused by overexertion. More often, they're caused by silent deficiencies, missing micronutrients in your blood that your body is quietly begging for. And the good news? You can replenish most of these simply by eating the right greens. Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are mineral rich, but they do even more. They help neutralize acidity in the blood, support liver detox, and reduce low-grade inflammation, issues that silently worsen muscle stiffness as we age. A 2018 Harvard study found that adults over 55 who ate at least one serving of leafy greens daily had a 32% lower risk of nighttime leg cramps compared to those who rarely ate greens. That's why I often suggest something simple to my patients. Don't wait for dinner to eat your veggies. Start your day with a smoothie made from spinach, banana, and a few walnuts. Or scramble some eggs with chopped kale. It's delicious and healing. Not a fan of strong leafy flavors? Try sautéing Swiss chard with a bit of garlic and olive oil. Gentle on the palate, easy on digestion. Now listen, I'm not saying leafy greens are the only answer. But if you're experiencing cramps regularly, especially at night, this is where I want you to begin. Not out of guilt, not out of punishment, but to give your body a chance to heal naturally, gently, and without side effects. My friend, I don't tell these stories as a nutritionist. I tell them as someone who's seen it with my own eyes. How many restful nights and morning smiles return, just because someone added a handful of greens to their daily plate. So let me ask you, have you had your greens today? 2. Eggs, the secret weapon against nighttime leg cramps. I still remember a moment years ago When I was speaking at a health seminar for older adults, a gentleman in the front row raised his hand and asked, "Doctor, I've heard that eating eggs every day isn't good for the heart, but on the mornings I skip my eggs, I feel tired and my calves start cramping. What should I do?" I smiled and I told him what I often tell my patients at the clinic. It's not the egg that's making you tired. Maybe it's the lack of eggs that's throwing your body off balance. My friend, eggs, humble, familiar, maybe even boring to some, are actually one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Let me put it this way. One single egg, about 50 grams in weight, contains everything needed to create a complete living being. Now think about that. If an egg can create life from scratch, surely it can help rebuild and nourish the aging cells in our bodies. When it comes to preventing leg cramps, especially those painful nighttime cramps, eggs have been one of my go-to nutritional secret weapons for patients over 50. Why? Because eggs contain three key ingredients your body needs to calm those muscles and keep them strong. First, protein, but easy to digest. Each large egg gives you around 6 grams of complete, high-quality protein, packed with all the essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. For younger people, protein can come from steak or grilled chicken breast, but as we age, digestion slows down, and heavy meats often become hard on the stomach. Eggs are different. They're gentle, easy to absorb, and still powerful enough to help maintain muscle mass and protect you from age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia. One of the reasons older adults experience more cramps is that their muscles quietly weaken over time, and they don't even notice it. Egg protein is like giving your muscles the building blocks they need to stay strong, stable, and cramp-resistant. Second, vitamin D, the calm switch for your muscles. Here's something most people don't talk about. Vitamin D isn't just for bones. It also helps your muscles relax and supports the nervous system in controlling movement. Older adults, especially those who don't get much sunlight, are almost always low in vitamin D, and that deficiency can lead to leg cramps, muscle tightness, and restless legs at night. Egg yolks contain about 40 IU of vitamin D, not a huge amount, but when eaten daily, along with fatty fish or fortified milk, it creates a strong foundation for better muscle function and deeper sleep. I sometimes joke with my patients. One egg for breakfast might do more than 2 sleeping pills at night. Third, vitamin B12, your nervous system's best friend. I've had countless patients come to me complaining about tingling in their hands and feet, nighttime cramps, or that strange needle-like sensation in their calves while they sleep. In many of those cases, the root cause was a B12 deficiency, which unfortunately becomes harder to absorb as we age. To make matters worse, common medications like metformin for diabetes or acid blockers for reflux can further block B12 absorption. That's why eggs, especially the yolks, are such a simple, natural, and well-tolerated source of daily B12. Vitamin B12 protects your nerve sheaths, keeps motor signals running smoothly, and helps prevent cramps triggered by poor neuromuscular communication. I remember a sweet lady, 72 years old, once told me, "I used to avoid eggs because of cholesterol, but now I have one boiled egg every morning, and I feel more awake, I hurt less, and I sleep more soundly." You were right, doctor. I wasn't having too many eggs. I wasn't having enough. But what about cholesterol? Ah, yes, the age-old question. But here's the truth. Science has come a long way in the last 20 years. Modern research, including studies published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, show that for healthy older adults, eating 6 to 7 eggs per week does not increase the risk of heart disease, especially when the overall diet is balanced. In fact, replacing processed meats or sugary breakfast cereals with eggs often leads to better heart health outcomes. Of course, if you have serious heart conditions, poorly controlled diabetes, or kidney disease, talk to your doctor first to find the right amount for you. My heartfelt advice to you, if you're looking for a food that's easy on the stomach, nutrient-dense, tailor-made for the aging body, and helps reduce those painful nighttime calf cramps, then start with the egg. Whether it's a simple boiled egg in the morning or a soft poached egg on steamed greens at dinner, it's not just a meal, it's a quiet act of love you give to your own body. 3. Bananas. a gentle fruit with powerful healing for your legs. I once asked one of my patients, a 67-year-old man who'd worked most of his life as a mechanic, "When was the last time you had a banana?" He chuckled and said, "Probably the last time my granddaughter shoved one in my hand on her way to the school bus." See, we tend to think of bananas as a snack for kids or for gym rats, but very few people realize this. At age 60, 70, or beyond, a banana might just be the best thing you could give your legs. Let me ask you, have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night, your calf cramping up like something inside is twisting it tight? That pain comes out of nowhere. You're suddenly sitting up, gasping, grabbing the edge of the bed. It's as if your muscles are rebelling while the rest of your body is still asleep. That, my friend, is a leg cramp paying you a visit. And often it's a sign that your body is running low on electrolytes. And when it comes to the holy trinity of electrolyte minerals, potassium stands front and center. Bananas, a gentle natural electrolyte charger. One medium banana gives you about 420 milligrams of potassium, roughly 12% of the daily needs for an older adult. Potassium acts like the gatekeeper for your nervous and muscular systems. It keeps signals moving smoothly between nerves and muscles, helps muscles contract and relax in rhythm, and maintains the right amount of fluid inside your muscle cells. Now, when potassium is just a little too low, your muscle cells become oversensitive. They misfire, contract when they shouldn't. It's like a broken microphone picking up the wrong signals. And the result is a surprise cramp that knocks you out of your sleep. In younger people, a little potassium loss might go unnoticed. But in older adults, especially those on diuretics, those who don't drink enough water or who skip meals, potassium deficiency is a daily reality. I remember a woman named Elaine, 74 years old, lived alone, and loved her gentle afternoon walks. She kept getting cramps, even though she wasn't overexerting herself. We made just one small change to her routine, one banana each evening before bed, plus regular hydration. 2 weeks later, she called me and said, "Dr. Avery, I've slept through the night for the first time in 3 years. Magnesium, potassium's quiet partner." Bananas aren't just about potassium. They also contain magnesium, a mineral that helps your muscles unwind after a long day. Whether you've been walking, doing light gardening, or simply standing more than usual, your muscles start to fatigue. Magnesium tells your muscles it's okay to rest now. It helps them return to a calm, relaxed state without seizing up. A banana contains about 32 milligrams of magnesium, enough to gently activate this calming effect, especially when paired with other magnesium-rich foods like almonds, oats, or leafy greens. Vitamin B6, the forgotten nerve messenger. Have you noticed that after turning 50, you might feel tingling in your hands or feet, pins and needles under your toes, irritable or restless at night? One reason could be a lack of vitamin B6. B6 helps your brain produce neurotransmitters, those little messengers that tell your body when to move, when to stop, and when to rest. Bananas offer about zero point 0.4 milligrams of B6 per fruit, which covers about 30% of the daily needs for older adults. Bananas and better sleep, a natural pairing. I often tell my patients, a banana isn't just food for your stomach, it's food for your sleep. When you eat a banana about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, you're giving your body potassium to reduce the chance of cramps, magnesium to relax your muscles, vitamin B6 to calm your nervous system. But more than that, you're sending a gentle signal to your brain that says, it's time to rest now. But doctor, what about the sugar in bananas? That's a fair question, and I've heard it many times. Some of my patients with prediabetes are hesitant to eat bananas. But here's what I tell them. If you pair your banana with a few almonds, some oats, or a spoon of plain yogurt, you slow down sugar absorption and help keep your blood sugar stable. A small banana in the evening, alongside 5 to 6 almonds or a bit of oatmeal, might be all it takes to finally sleep through the night without waking up in pain. My gentle reminder to you, healing doesn't always come from something big. Sometimes it comes from small actions, repeated daily with love, and maybe, just maybe, a banana, simple, quiet, and often overlooked, could be the healing your legs have been waiting for. 4. Nuts. Tiny powerhouses for peaceful muscles. After 50, I have a small habit, but one I believe makes a big difference. Every day, whether I'm heading to the hospital or a community clinic, I tuck a small handful of nuts into the front pocket of my white coat. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, walnuts, not for snacking, just to pass the time, but because I know a handful of nuts a day can help my patients avoid restless nights, nagging aches, and those sharp muscle cramps that make them fear getting out of bed in the morning. We often underestimate the small things, but when it comes to the body, it's often the tiniest details that keep the entire system running smoothly. And when it comes to preventing leg cramps, nuts are a natural powerhouse of magnesium, something our bodies quietly crave, especially after age 50. Magnesium, the peacekeeper for your muscles. When someone walks into my clinic complaining of leg cramps, especially those that strike at night, my first thought isn't medication, it's magnesium. You see, magnesium is the mineral that helps muscles relax after they've contracted, like a conductor lowering his baton at the end of a symphony. Without enough magnesium, your muscles simply don't let go. They tighten, seize, or twitch at night, leaving you sore, startled, and sleep deprived. Here's the good news. Nuts, especially pumpkin seeds, almonds, and cashews, are rich in magnesium. Just 1 ounce, 28 grams of pumpkin seeds, provides about 168 milligrams of magnesium. That's 40% of an older adult's daily need. Almonds and cashews deliver 20 to 25% as well. I had a patient once, Harold, 70 years old, a retired construction engineer. His cramps were so bad he stopped driving long distances. We changed his diet, added more greens, 1 egg each morning, and I gave him a jar of unsalted mixed nuts, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, and almonds. 3 weeks later, he walked into my office grinning ear to ear. I drove all the way to my daughter's house in Utah. Didn't cramp up once. Thank you, Doc. And thank those little nuts. Potassium. The silent partner nuts also offer a surprising amount of potassium, a mineral that helps nerves fire properly and keeps your muscles from acting out. Pistachios contain around 290 milligrams of potassium per ounce. Almonds, approximately 200 milligrams. Cashews, about 160 milligrams. When magnesium and potassium work together, it's like tuning both the strings and the keys of a piano. Only when both are in harmony can your body play the right notes, without cramping. Healthy fats, for better circulation and muscle recovery. Do you ever feel sore or stiff after just a light day of activity? It's not always about muscle weakness. Sometimes it's poor circulation. Your muscles aren't getting enough oxygen and nutrients to recover properly. And here's where nuts shine beyond any vitamin pill. They're rich in healthy fats, especially omega-3s and monounsaturated fats, that improve blood flow, reduce low-level muscle inflammation, support post-activity muscle recovery. Walnuts are the omega-3 kings of the nut family. Almonds and cashews help raise HDL, the good cholesterol that protects your heart and blood vessels. Anti-inflammatory allies, quietly fighting the root cause. Muscle cramps aren't always caused by missing minerals. Sometimes they're triggered by chronic inflammation, especially in people dealing with arthritis, back pain, or long-term stress. Nuts contain vitamin E, which protects muscles and nerves from oxidative damage. Selenium and polyphenols, which help tissues repair and calm down inflammation. A patient of mine, Margaret, 66 years old with chronic arthritis, once told me, I replaced my evening crackers with a small handful of almonds and walnuts, and I noticed my legs didn't feel as stiff the next morning. A few small notes that matter a lot. I always tell my patients, nuts are medicine, but they're also high in energy. The dose matters. Stick to about one small handful, 28 grams per day. Choose unsalted, dry roasted, or raw nuts. No sugar, no deep frying. If your digestion is sensitive, go for shelled, roasted nuts. And if you have food allergies, talk to your doctor before making nuts a daily habit. Nuts aren't just a snack. They're a healing ritual. Here's how you can start today. Sprinkle 1 tablespoon of chopped nuts into your morning yogurt. Enjoy 5 to 6 pumpkin seeds after lunch instead of chips. or have a few walnuts with your evening TV time instead of cookies. You don't need a lot, you just need consistency. That's the real secret, letting your body absorb these quiet nutrients day by day. My reflection after 30 years in practice. When I look back at what's worked best for my patients over the past 3 decades, I've realized something powerful. It's not the machines. It's not the expensive prescriptions. It's the small things. Done regularly, that truly heal, like a handful of nuts, each day. Segment 5, Coconut Water, Nature's Electrolyte for Restful Legs. When I was a young doctor fresh out of medical school, I used to think, water is just water. As long as you drink 8 cups a day, you're good. But after 30 years in practice, listening to aching legs, midnight cramps, and the quiet fear of, why am I getting weaker? I've learned something important. Not all water is created equal. And there's one kind of water I've come to trust more and more over the years: coconut water. One summer afternoon, I visited Evelyn, a longtime patient of mine, 76 years old, living alone. She was sipping a bright orange sports drink filled with sugar and synthetic additives. I asked, "Trying to recover from cramps?" She nodded. "Doctor told me I needed electrolytes, and so I drink this." I smiled gently and said, "You know, instead of this, all you might need is a glass of real, natural coconut water." Coconut water, natural electrolytes for tired legs. In tropical medicine, coconut water is often called nature's V. That's because in one glass of fresh coconut water, you get over 600 milligrams of potassium, more than a banana, magnesium, sodium, and calcium, perfectly balanced to support muscle function. Natural glucose, enough to gently energize without spiking blood sugar. But what makes coconut water special is how quickly and gently it's absorbed. Like your body knows this is the kind of hydration it truly needed. Cramps aren't just a mineral problem. They're often a silent dehydration problem. One thing I often see in older adults: they don't feel thirsty, but their body is quietly drying out. Why? The sense of thirst fades with age. Many avoid water to prevent nighttime bathroom trips. Caffeine, tea, coffee, increases fluid loss. A lack of fresh fruits and vegetables means less hidden water in meals. And so, little by little, your cells dehydrate, your muscles tighten, and your electrolytes go off balance. Then one night, a sudden cramp jolts you awake. I once guided an 80-year-old gentleman who cramped every night at exactly 2 a.m. I suggested, try a small glass of unsweetened coconut water around 8 p.m. After dinner, but before bedtime. 2 weeks later, he came back smiling. "Doctor, Avery, I slept straight through the night for the first time in years. No more 2 a.m. leg grabs. Balance your electrolytes equals peaceful legs. Peaceful sleep muscles are not just chunks of meat. They're electrical systems tied together by ions, signals, and nerves. A little too much sodium, a little too little potassium, or just some mild dehydration from heat or diuretics, and the whole system short circuits. Coconut water, taken at the right time and in the right amount, is a gentle electrolyte assistant for the aging body. It hydrates, calms muscle fibers, and restores balance quietly and effectively." How to drink coconut water. Smartly. You don't need much. Just one small glass, 5 to 7 ounces, in the late afternoon or early evening. Avoid drinking it right before bed to prevent bathroom trips. After walking or yoga, sip it 15 to 30 minutes later. On hot days or after sweating, add a pinch of sea salt or pink salt to boost cramp prevention. Important note: if you have kidney disease, advanced diabetes, or are on a strict low potassium diet, please check with your doctor before drinking coconut water regularly. Final thoughts. I've always believed your body doesn't need luxury to heal. It needs the right thing, at the right time. And sometimes that right thing is as simple as a glass of cool coconut water. Uncomplicated, gentle, but deeply nourishing, especially for tired legs and restless nights. Now that we've explored 5 powerful natural foods to fight cramps and reclaim restful sleep: 1. Dark leafy greens. 2. Eggs. 3. bananas 4, nuts and seeds. 5. Coconut water. Try adding them slowly, consistently into your life. And within weeks, you may find fewer cramps, deeper sleep, and more strength than you thought you had. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to Health Hack Hive. We've got more gentle tips coming your way to help you live well, live strong, naturally.